Hello, welcome to my channel, Sea of Infinity. So in this video, just doing a quick little reading from my handmade oracle deck. So if this reading has found you, then I trust that it is for you. However, as always, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and use your own discernment. Okay, let's see what messages of guidance wish to come out. I note as well on the pre-shuffle that the Angel in Disguise card came out, so got that one on top. I'll take to begin the reading, and let's see what else wishes to come out. Okay, angels, archangels, source, spirit, mother Gaia, unicorns, fairies, dragons, please assist me bringing through a message for the collective, what they need to know and hear today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Got a few cards have already come out. Woo! These three cards on the bottom of the deck were sticking out to me as well, so I'm going to grab those as well. So we've got, oh wow, we've got quite a few cards here, a lot more than I would usually do, but let's just roll with it and see how it goes. I wonder how we'll fit all this in. I feel like actually that one came out, so we'll go do. Okay, they're not all going to fit in the screen at the moment, so I'll read a couple and then move the cards around and move them up to continue the reading. I note as well there's 15 cards that came out in total, so 15 might be a little resonant number for you at the moment, or fives and ones, or any combination of 5 and 1s might be a little sign or synchronicity for you. And I also noticed on the clock as well 333 and the number 143 came out for me too, so, or 341, so that might also be some extra little numbers for you. Okay, so let's start with Angel in Disguise. So we have humility, unseen allies, hidden blessings, unexpected help, guidance. Not all angels have wings. Don't judge a book by its cover. Support may arrive in an unexpected form. Angels can arrive as strangers, challenges, or strange coincidences. So, a great little card to start off the reading. So don't, be alarmed if you have a sort of angel in disguise moment. I feel like a great little message to come through to expect that sort of unexpected or unseen assistance or help or hidden blessings. So really following that as you feel called to, remembering to stay, in that energy of humility and following that guidance, as you never know where that unexpected help could come from or what form or shape it comes through to you in. But a great little sign and wink from the universe here that, assistance is on the way to you, and that unseen allies do surround you and are assisting you at this time. So, get excited in anticipation for how that, may come through for you, and in whatever unexpected form, that arrives for you. Know that, the angels are supporting you and that you do have support. So, get excited about that. It's a nice little hidden blessing for you that's going to pop through. And then we have new earth, planetary awakening, ascension, unity, new timelines, 5D awakening, or 5D awareness, sorry, but that might have been a purposeful mislip. So you might also kind of be awakening at this time into more 5D awareness. Soul remembrance, timeline convergence. You are part of the bridge. Bring the future into the present moment. You are already accessing higher frequencies. Live as if the new world is here. Higher consciousness asks to be lived, not imagined. You are not waiting for permission to ascend. So a great little reminder, a message to come out, that we are creating the new earth. The new earth is being birthed through us. We are the bridge between the old world into the new world. And you already are accessing those higher frequencies. So embody them, within yourself and allow them to sort of, multiply and manifest into the external, reality and world, to create and bring in and birth this new earth that, we're all ascending into. And as part of that, you might have some form of soul remembrance or timeline convergences, where things kind of, cross over in a little more 5D way as opposed to a more logical 3D way. So really just go with that, and whatever your kind of, inspiration you're receiving or downloads or what have you, and whatever you kind of feel is, being created and birthed within you, not being afraid to not only feel that and imagine that and perceive that, but also to embody it, to express it, and to live it. You're bringing that future, you're bringing those ideals and, those feelings and what have you into the present moment, into the here and now. So, not just living in it in imagination, as powerful as that is, not waiting for permission for it to be true, for permission to ascend, and, living as if it already is true, because it is. And so the more that you live and embody into that energy, the more that it's really going to, manifest into the more material world around us. So, very, very exciting times. And the more, the more of us bridges, if you will, kind of become activated and really step into that, the quicker and faster that all sort of manifests for us. And the more we all kind of, connect together as those bridges from the old into the new. So very, very exciting times. And then we have Atlantis, ancient wisdom, advanced harmony, rise and fall, crystal grids, water consciousness. I feel called to mention as well, with the sort of crystal grids sort of nature of the Atlantis energy, and the crystals card has also come out here, and with the new earth, sort of rainbow imagery, and then down below we have the rainbow card as well. So crystals and rainbows might be a really strong and resonant sort of energy or sign for you at the moment as well. So you are remembering something ancient within yourself, Reclaim it with care and balance. What was once known has not been lost. It has been submerged. True advancement is harmony, not domination. So, really stepping into that energy of, those sort of downloads and such we're talking about before, really allowing that ancient wisdom to come through for you. Just as it says, it has not been lost. It has been submerged. All that knowledge and wisdom still lays dormant within you and within the reality around us that we can remember and reclaim. And doing so in a way that is, harmonious, really following that energy of unity of the new earth here. Not as a way of domination, but as a way of, collectively coming together to, really have a reality and world and experience that is beneficial for everyone. And Atlantis might also be a really strong energy related to your sort of, soul blueprint, if you will, or your soul history or lineage. So, maybe Atlantis is another sort of energy or, something to kind of tap more into to see what comes through for you there. It really was a powerful time of such ancient wisdom and knowledge and technology and what have you, and energetic abilities. So really allowing your imagination, if you will, to run wild in that aspect of what you can connect to and then embody and bring through into this present moment and reality. Just as it was talking about that wisdom that has been submerged and not lost, knowing that we really can reclaim all that and rebirth and reconnect to all that ancient wisdom and power, which is so wonderful and exciting for all the potentials and possibilities we can bring through and birth into this new earth. Then we have Arcturian coming through. So, the Arcturians may be trying to connect with you at the moment, or a resonant sort of energy to be working with, or you yourself and your soul, lineage or what have you may be Arcturian. You may have lived a life, or, as time is kind of an illusion, as they say, a part of your soul may be presently living a life as an Arcturian. So, connecting with that energy or with that part of yourself may be beneficial and powerful for you at this time. So we have higher intelligence, third eye, advanced technology, visionaries, leveling up into clarity, structure, and sovereignty, deeply supportive, clean visionary, master healers and architects, guidance through recalibration, energetic upgrades, or remembering soul tech. Very resonant energy in that aspect of, architects, of, building this new earth. So sort of working with that Arcturian energy to, be the architects as well, to construct this new earth reality. And energetic upgrades or remembering soul tech, kind of coming through for you at the moment. You might be going through a sort of another awakening or more sort of, DNA upgrades or recalibration, if you will, that kind of really allows you to tap into that sort of master healer and architect energy, remembering soul tech and what have you that you may be connected to from past lives or parallel lives, really allowing that to come through and not just brushing it off as, silly imagination or what have you, and believing and trusting that, and knowing that you are deeply supported at this time, as a visionary for the future. And you really are leveling up at this time, and the Arcturians are assisting with this. And then we have inner compass, intuition, self-trust, soul navigation, true north, inner guidance. Trust your knowing even when the map seems unclear. Follow the nudges, the whispers, the winks. They're the secret GPS of your soul. Silence the noise and follow what feels authentically right for you. Your heart knows the way. And a great message to come out, with the rest of the message here of really following your intuition and having that self-trust, navigating your soul and that inner guidance as you kind of, be the bridge and the architect for this new earth reality, trusting that knowing that you have within you, even when the map or the external reality seems a bit unclear. Really following those signs that you receive, or that, sort of downloads or intuition you receive, and silencing the noise of doubt or fear or what have you, and just following what feels right for you, following your heart, following that inner compass during this time to really lead you through the trenches, if you will. And then we have ancient Egypt, timeless wisdom, sacred knowledge, initiation, sacred geometry, pyramidal consciousness, pyramid consciousness. The mysteries reveal themselves through discipline and sacred timing. What you seek unfolds when you honor the process. Mastery through alignment with cosmic law. Walk the path of remembrance with patience and devotion. So, you might be connected to ancient Egypt energy. You may have had a lifetime in ancient Egypt, or it might just, be a period in time that calls to you. So following those calls and nudges, to tap into that sort of sacred knowledge and timeless wisdom, and seeing what comes out for you and what you find. And, another sign that you may be going through another sort of initiation at this time into the sort of next level of your soul's journey. So, going with the flow of that process, allowing the mysteries to reveal themselves, and walking that path of remembrance, as was coming out earlier as well with the cards of, you may at this time be tapping more into remembrance of that sort of knowledge and wisdom that's been submerged within you. It may be unfolding at this time. So really allowing yourself to become that sort of master healer and architect through this initiative process. And having patience with yourself and the journey as that all unfolds for you. Then we have Source, God, infinite intelligence, unconditional love, creation, sacred guidance, divine flow, presence. You are part of a greater intelligence. All is born from the same root. There is no separation from what sustains you. Align with the source within, and everything aligns outside. You are a wave in an infinite ocean. You are held, guided, and never alone. Divine presence is not distance. It moves through you. A beautiful card and reminder to come out, that you are connected to Source, you are connected to God. That unconditional love, is always surrounding you, and that guidance is always supporting you. And that infinite intelligence and creation flows through you. Knowing that's not something you're disconnected from. We are all connected to that divine presence. We are all a part of that greater intelligence. So allowing that to move through you, to flow through you, and, really seeing what can be born through you through that process. And knowing that you truly are held, guided, and never alone. You are infinitely and eternally loved and held and supported. Then we have crystals, activation, frequency, codes, Earth's memory, energy amplifier. Cleanse, charge, or work with a crystal that's calling to you. Enhance your vibe and frequencies. Light codes activating and surfacing. Amplify intention and coherence during meditation or dream work. And so a great little sign to work with crystals at this time to enhance these sort of energies we've been talking about, and to assist and enhance this sort of process that you are going through, to allow those sort of light codes to surface and to be activated within you, and allowing crystals to assist you in amplifying your intention and coherence during this sort of, meditative type work or what have you, in being the bridge and bringing through and embodying these sort of, new earth type frequencies. And crystals are so powerful in that way, and can really allow and assist in those sort of energies and downloads and intuition or what have you to come through for you more strongly. And of seeing just, what comes through for you when you do work with certain crystals, and the power that you can find within that process. Then we have Mary Magdalene, sacred devotion, transformative grace, sensual, embodied love, heart-led courage, nurturing. Your heart remembers what your mind forgets. Intimacy with yourself opens the way for deep connection. Messy is sacred. You are already whole. Love fully without expectation. Healing follows naturally. And so a beautiful and supportive sort of energy to come through for you as you sort of go through this transformative process, to allow that energy of grace to support you at this time, and having that heart-led courage as you go through this process, and knowing that your heart remembers what your mind forgets. So really tapping into that heart wisdom and following the nudges and the little whispers of your heart, and really having that intimacy with yourself, to have that deeper connection with yourself, to allow these energies and downloads and messages to come through more clearly for you. And really, embodying that energy of love throughout this process for yourself and for others, so that this sort of process can unfold in a healing way for yourself. Really following the path and the flow that feels natural for you and to you. Then we have Horus, higher perspective, sovereign clarity, power, visionary, sky-minded focus, empowering. The two cards with the Ankh or the Ankh coming through as well. So that might be a powerful symbol, or a little sign or synchronicity for you as well, or to look more into or to work with at this time. And just that general, sort of powerful Egyptian energy as well. So rise above the noise to see what truly matters. The eyes see not to judge, but to restore balance. Clarity comes when you stop circling the wound. Leadership begins with self-alignment. So, as you're going through this process, really allowing yourself to have that higher perspective, to see the bigger picture, to be the bridge to that greater perspective, to help, embody and bring through and birth this new earth type energy. Knowing that, greater clarity comes through when you stop circling the wound, really releasing those past traumas and energies that may be kind of bogging you down or fogging, your vision in a sense. And knowing that, through this sort of process to kind of have that sort of new earth leadership that really begins with self-alignment, so that you are able to have that aligned energy become more embodied and manifested into the external reality as well. So really feeling empowered within yourself and having that sovereign clarity to be the visionary that you are here to be. Then we have trees, grounding wisdom, grid work, ancestral memory, root work. Time to root down, listen deeply, and reconnect to the stillness that cannot be shaken. Hug, lean, sit, or dream with them, with the trees. They're so beautiful. Focus on grounding and root work, elemental grid points, and access to old earth memory. So a great, little sign and nudge here that through this process, remember to stay grounded, as these sort of journeys can, become a little ungrounding at time when all these new energies and downloads and what have you are coming through and being received for you. Not forgetting to ground yourself and do that root work to remain, rooted to the earth. And listening deeply to what comes through for you. And, even using the trees to assist with this process. They're such a grounding and stabilizing force that can really assist with alchemizing and grounding your energy. And, they're also elemental grid points that have access to old earth memory, so can also assist in further wisdom and downloads and what have you to come through for you. So really working with the power of the trees at this time could really be beneficial for you and your journey. The trees are so beautiful and such a simple thing to connect to, an easy thing to connect to. So not, kind of forgetting about those simple but powerful processes for this journey. And then we have soul tribe, soul family, aligned community, belonging, shared purpose, collaboration, mutual support. These are the people who recognize your essence without explanation. Connection is here. I feel like I need to start that one again. These are the people who recognize your essence without explanation. Connection here is built on resonance, not obligation. Coming together to build community and work toward a shared vision. This is connection without pressure to perform or merge. Everyone stands in their own power. Community thrives when individuality is honored. So, a great and wonderful sign that you will be connecting to Soul Tribe at this time or in the near future. So really being open to that and to, allowing yourself to receive that support and connecting to that shared purpose to really collaborate and, multiply that energy and enhance that energy together, being the bridges together and, bringing in those energies of the new earth together as, there's so much power in numbers. and, you know, getting excited to connect with soul family. That can be such a magical and powerful and wonderful experience, you know, for that sort of aligned community aspect, and to also, you know, connect with deeper parts of yourself as well through that process. You know, knowing that there's no pressure to perform or merge. You can still hold on to your individuality, but still find the power and beauty that comes from building community together, and the power of working toward a shared vision together, and the joy of all of that. So, you know, exciting times to be connecting with your soul tribe. And then I might, for the final cards, just kind of, you know, move these ones out of the way a little bit, and move these up. Okay, so the final 3 cards we have here. We have frogs, and I note as well, I'm wearing a shirt at the moment with frogs on it. So frogs might be a great little sign or synchronicity for you at the moment. So we have transition, renewal, adaptability, flow, leap of faith, emotional cleansing, fresh starts. You know, a great little sign that you might be leaping into a new timeline here, or leaping into a new stage of your journey, which is, you know, always exciting. You're ready to move on, even if you don't know exactly where you'll land. Small leaps lead to big shifts. Trust your ability to land. Release what has grown stagnant. The path forward doesn't require certainty. So, you know, really continuing to move forward without that certainty, you know, following your inner compass and your intuition, as we were speaking about earlier, even if you do feel a bit blind, and trusting that higher perspective. You know, and trusting your ability to land, having that faith through the process that you'll know exactly where you'll land, and that you'll end up exactly where you're meant to be, and that you are ready to move on to the next stage. So really allowing what has grown stagnant, or what no longer resonates for you or feels ready to be released, allowing that to fall away during this time as you step into new energy and new timelines. You know, big shifts are coming through for you, and sometimes all it takes is one little small step, one little small leap to really have those big shifts manifest for you. So trusting the process of that, and continuing on through these transitions into the flow of this fresh start coming through for you. You are so much more adaptable than you realize. So, you know, really taking that leap of faith at this time, you know, just really leapfrogging into that new chapter. Boom, boom. Then we have Thoth, or Thoth, or, you know, however you pronounce it, or Hermes, as, you know, he's also known by in the more sort of Greek mythology that, you know, that character this energy is connected to. We have, you know, in the green emerald tablets and what have you. So we have sacred knowledge, logic and magic, moon, cosmic scribe, wisdom and symbols, trickster. So also could be a great sign as well to kind of tap into or research more into the sort of wisdom and knowledge of Thoth, of Hermes. And, you know, really tapping into that sort of sacred knowledge through that, and within yourself as well, and the magic within you. And the moon cycles as well might be a bit important or resonant for you at this time, the full moon or the new moon. So kind of going with that as you feel called to. The universe speaks in patterns. Notice the repeating signs. Jokes, riddles, and paradoxes are also portals to truth. Knowledge is power when tempered with discernment. Writing, speaking, or thinking can become your magic. So whatever sort of signs or synchronicities or sort of trickster type energy or jokes or riddles or paradoxes that may be popping up in your reality at the moment, kind of, following those patterns that the universe speaks through, of the subconscious, of the unseen, similar to, how the subconscious speaks through symbols and symbology in our dreams. A similar process happens in our waking reality too. So sort of trusting those little, winks and how that comes through for you. And remembering the power of discernment through this sort of journey, and using the power of writing, speaking, or thinking. That is part of your magic. Writing and speaking and your thoughts are so powerful, so magnetic, and so energetically charged. So really using the power of your thoughts, of your speaking, of your voice, of writing, to be a powerful part of your journey and your manifestation as you sort of, go through this journey, and allowing yourself to tap into the power of that and embodying your magic and your power in those sort of wonderful and marvelous ways. Doing that sort of, spell work, if you will, in positive and beautiful ways to not only manifest, great and wonderful things for yourself and your own reality, but also in assisting and bringing through that sort of new earth energy as well. So, really taking the time to use discernment and to align the power of your thoughts to that to which you wish to manifest, speaking that which you wish to bring into fruition, writing down that what you wish to manifest. Such great, simple but powerful tools of magic you can utilize at this time. And then the final card we have here, Rainbow. Integration, hope, promise, multidimensional, blessing, completion, harmony, alignment. If you see a rainbow in your reality, in whatever form, that could be, another little sign and great little nudge for you and for this message coming through. Light reveals itself through contrast. You made it through and you get to keep the colors. You didn't imagine the light ahead. Integration is the real reward. What you endured is part of the blessing. This moment is a bridge, not an escape. Let yourself receive what's on the other side. So a great and wonderful energy and message to come through. Letting you know that there's so much blessings coming through for you at this time. Everything that you've been through and have done so far is leading you to such a great and miraculous outcome. So really getting yourself excited and ready to receive what's on the other side. And that little reminder here too, that this moment and you are a bridge to that future new earth energy, and that you didn't imagine the light ahead. You didn't imagine those visions or feelings or intuitive downloads or insights. That is something that you received and you felt or you saw or believed for a reason. So not giving up the hope in that aspect, keeping the faith that is all coming through for you. You are crossing that bridge. and you're integrating all of this knowledge at this time, and through this integration process, so much more will be birthed into your reality in such beautiful and wonderful ways. You've really made it through all those past stages, and now you get to keep all the colors that you received through that process, which is, so exciting and so beautiful. And, just that reminder as well of how multidimensional you truly are. Just as light itself can be fractaled out into all the beautiful colors of the rainbow, so are you so infinite and multidimensional in that nature. What appears as just plain white light really also does contain all the magic of all these beautiful colors within it. And going through a phase of completion and harmony at this time, and that all that has been promised to you will be received. Those blessings are coming through for you at this time as you integrate and step fully more into that alignment at this time. A great little sign and nudge that you have completed that stage as you leapfrog into the next stage, also knowing that all the blessings that are inherited to you through the work of your soul's journey are coming through to reward you at this time. So really, really get excited for those blessings and be ready to receive those blessings and enjoy it for all that you do deserve. Exciting and wonderful time for you. And that angel in disguise as well might be part of some of those blessings that are coming through for you at this time. So, really getting excited about that and what could be coming through for you to receive. Kind of like that feeling of being a kid the night before Christmas, not knowing what you're going to get, what sort of presents from Santa or what have you may be brought to you. And that, really excitable energy of anticipation, having that excitable energy at this time of what the new earth may be bringing and unveiling for you, what sort of blessings are coming through to be received for you, really allowing that excitement to be embodied. We don't just have to enjoy the journey once we reach the destination. We can enjoy the journey all along the way as well. So, a really, really beautiful and powerful message coming through here all together for you. So exciting and so beautiful. So I really, hope and trust that this does resonate for you, as I'm sure it will and does. So much powerful wisdom and insights coming through for you, and that will be coming through for you. So much, important work and changes that you are doing at this time. So much to be unveiled for you, and so much for you to connect to in magical and wonderful, exciting ways. Blessings, unexpected surprises, new knowledge and insights, soul tribe and soul family, all that wonderful, wonderful, wonderful stuff, and just tapping more into the power and wisdom within yourself and around you. And knowing that you are so guided and supported and loved at this time and during this process and journey. So not forgetting that, being excited for the process, releasing the fear, and really just tapping in and, going for it, taking those leap of faiths and seeing where you end up and having fun all along the way. You are powerful, you are magical, and you have so much wisdom within yourself. So allowing that to come through, and knowing that you are connected to a greater divine intelligence and to everyone and everything around you. So you are never alone. We're all in this together, and we're bridging through such a beautiful and bright brand new world into our reality for us all to enjoy, which is, you know, so, so exciting and wonderful. I really can't see, I really can't wait to see, you know, what happens next, you know, what's going to happen next, all those sort of exciting surprises of the unlimited potential, which is so, so beautiful and exciting. So many fun and loving and wonderful little surprises to come through for you. So just keep going, you know that you are guided and supported, and that there's so much wonderful love and magic and blessings surrounding you and coming in for you at this time. Very, 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 very exciting. So I'm wishing you all the best on your journey, as always. And I can't wait for you to, you know, receive and step into this next chapter and all the wonder that brings for you. All right, well, I'll leave this wonderful message here for now, but sending you so much peace, love, light, and blessings as always. Bye.